Hey there everybody, I'm back. It's Caitlin, your geeky girlfriend, and in today's video I'm gonna be doing another book review for my Bookie Babe book review series here on the channel, getting one step closer to my 15 book goal and challenge of 2023. I'm really feeling confident that I'm gonna not only meet the challenge but surpass it by a couple of books, so I'm really looking forward to that. So before we get into tonight's video, make sure you hit that red button and subscribe. And also hit the bell so you can be notified about all my latest videos. Thank you to everybody who has subscribed lately from the Instagram page. If you're new to the channel, hello, welcome. If you're not already a follower on Instagram, you can pop over there. Follow me at Your Geeky Girlfriend on Instagram. I go live there every week, and then those videos end up over here on YouTube and vice versa. So thank you all so much for being here. And if you're watching these videos, scroll down, see if there's anything else in my content that you like, and all of my fashion things and all of my Taylor Swift stuff can mostly be found over on Instagram. And then here on YouTube, we get more into the geeky side of things with the movie reviews and book reviews and all that. So I hope there is something to fit your fancy here on my channel. So thank you so much for being here. Tonight, I'm going to be reviewing Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl. This book is written by Jesse Andrews, and it is his one and only novel that I know of. And this was made into a movie, which I have not seen yet. So this was on my TBR shelf because this year I kind of tried to focus on movies that were made into books or TV so I could read the book and then watch the TV or movie, TV series or movie. So I kind of was trying to check off books that fit that description. So Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl is a movie that I wanted to see, so I wanted to read the book. Now, I will say, after reading the book, I'm not super interested in seeing the movie. However, I do think that this is a book that could not be written and probably a movie that realistically could not be made in today's society. I feel like a lot of people would be offended by this book and it would not go over super swimmingly. So we're going to talk about it a little bit more in detail. If you want a full detailed review, you can check out my Goodreads review. I will say that my Goodreads review for this book, I'm not going to lie to you guys, I did it at like 11:30 at night after I finished the book. I was kind of over the book. I just wanted to write my review and be done with it. So it's not as detailed as some of the rest of my reviews. So I'm going to a little bit more detailed in this review. So let's get right into it. This is a young adult fiction novel. It is told through the perspective of Greg, and he tells the story of his friendship with Earl and his friendship with Rachel. Rachel finds out during the course of the book that she has lymphoma slash leukemia. I think it's leukemia, actually. And a very quickly acting severe case. Greg kind of recounts his middle school friendship with Rachel in the beginning of the book. He recounts how he became friends with Earl. This book is like a sophomore boy wrote this book. So the humor, the language, everything about it sounds like it was written by a sophomore boy. There is talk of masturbation, lots of talk of boobs, talk of sex and porn and all of these different things. This was marketed as a young adult novel. There are definitely things that I know as a mother, if I had a daughter, and she picked up this book, I would have a hard time explaining those things to her. It's very sexual. And to be completely honest, I find Greg to be a terrible person. He has no empathy for Rachel. He only really cares about himself and his wishes and desires, and he wants to keep him and Earl make these films, and he doesn't want anybody to see them because I think he's embarrassed, and he has really crippling anxiety that I just want you want him to get help. And it's almost frustrating reading the book and just hearing some of the things that he says, and he is so self-deprecating that it's almost like you can't take it seriously because he's oh my gosh, I'm so stupid, I should punch myself in the head. That's a line in the book. And that just gets annoying to me. I hate hearing this narrative of oh, I'm the victim, everybody hates me, blah, 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 blah. He has no real friends because he cannot make a connection with anybody. He doesn't want to make a connection with anybody because he feels that it's easier. There has to be some sort of personality thing going on with him that's just undiagnosed, because the whole time I was reading it, I was like, well, yeah, no wonder you, like, I don't know. There's just so many things that I was just like, what is happening? Now, on a positive note, the one teacher in the book has a really good relationship with Greg. Greg respects him a lot, and I really like that. And the kids are very respectful to the one teacher. I think his name is like Mr. McCleary or something. And they really, really look up to him, and I like that. And I like that relationship that's portrayed. On the flip side, there are a lot of terms, a lot of things that Greg uses to talk about and describe Earl and Earl's family that, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, probably would not be acceptable. Like, if somebody would pick up this book today and read it, like, it's questionable. It's very questionable. Now, I guess, I don't know. I can't speak to what race Jesse Andrews is. I did not do that piece of research myself, but maybe if he himself was a black man, then some of the things that were said would maybe be a little bit more acceptable. But reading it as a white woman, I was just like, I wouldn't say some of what was put in this book. So it's kind of an interesting thing. So take that as you will. Like I said, I thought, like, I read through the book quickly only because I was motivated to finish it, not because I liked the book, but because I'm a completist and I don't like to admit defeat, and so I did not want to admit that this book was something that I could not finish. So I read it, but I did not enjoy it. I felt really terribly for Rachel. She, I don't want to say she was used, but, like, her sickness was taken advantage of because Greg's mom makes him feel like he has to hang out with her. And she knows that. She knows that he doesn't want to hang out with her. And then he won't just admit it to himself that he likes her, even as a friend. And it's just annoying. And you feel terribly for Rachel. And Earl ends up treating her better than Greg. And he's not even really supposed to be her friend. So he's just annoying. And yeah, Jesse Andrews uses a lot of different writing styles in this book. You can tell that he has film experience and maybe playwright / script writing experience, because he uses a lot of script writing techniques in the book, which kind of break it up a little bit, make it, a quicker read, uses like bullet points. So he just uses like some different stuff, things that a high schooler would use. So it's creative in that respect, but and the storyline, I feel like, had potential, but Greg is just such a terrible character, in my opinion, that I just was not into it at all. Like, I just could not, I couldn't do it. So, overall, I give this book a 1. A 1 for young adults. I would not recommend this one to my daughter, if I had a daughter. My son, like, I feel like a boy picking this up would find this book humorous. So boys might, I think I laughed out loud one time during this book. A book that's supposed to be very loose and satirical and funny. I laughed one time. So I do feel like a teenage boy would find this book hysterical. But me, and I read a lot of young adult fiction, so it's not even that I felt it was like kiddish. Because young adult fiction is my bread and butter. I love it. It's my go-to. This one just did not do it for me. I don't know if it's because I'm a girl. I don't know. I don't know what it was about it. I just did not like it. There were so many things that I did not like about it. So unfortunately, I give this book a 1. I would not recommend it. I'm not really interested in seeing the movie. I would be hesitant to read anything else by this author, and that sounds terrible of me to say, because I try to give I try not to judge books by their cover. So I try not to be like, ugh, I'm not reading that because it's like, if I picked the book up and read the back and it sounded interesting, like this one, then maybe. But yeah. So I apologize if, like, I doubt Jesse Andrews will ever see this video, but I apologize that I didn't enjoy your book. But you're a writer and you're used to critiques, and this is an honest review. So I'm just trying to be honest about my feelings, and hopefully well, you probably, like I said, you'll probably never see it, but if you do, I'm sorry for my lack of enjoyment. I was really trying, and I did finish the book. I powered through and finished it, and I really wanted some big redemptive moment for Greg, and I just didn't get it, and it was very frustrating. Like, I either wanted some sort of seismic karma to come to Greg, or I wanted him to realize that he actually did like Rachel, and he just, like, I wanted him just to suck it up. And even when he was given the opportunity, he didn't. So that really just frustrated me. And he's a senior in high school, so I feel like he should be more mature than that. And that also really frustrated me. So I found this book very frustrating, and just overall just silly, but like not in a good way. So yeah, it's a 1 from me. I would not recommend. Probably the worst book that I've read this year. And only the second one that I was contemplating not finishing. There was one other book really early on in the year that I finished up over the summer. It was like book 7 or 8 on my list for this year, and I almost didn't finish that one. That one was a science fiction book, and I'm not really a big science fiction person, but I tried to give it a chance because it was kind of Disney themed. And you can find the whole review of that down on my channel, probably 15 or 20 videos back at this point, but you can go check that out. But that one was the only other one other than this one that I almost did not finish. Everything else this year I've read really easily and had no trouble. Not everything has been great. I haven't had a great run this year, but I have read some good ones. So Never Cried Wolf is up there on my list this year for top favorites. Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo is up there on the top list of favorites. I just dropped that review to the channel, so scroll down, you can find that one. If I Stay is probably up there. The Giver is definitely up there on the list of favorites for this year so far. And Wonder. Those are probably my top 5 right now, but I have 4 books left for the year, so we'll see if anything can kind of etch those 5 out of their places. But that's all I have for this one. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you to those of you who keep recommending books to me, who keep sending books to me for me to read. I absolutely love it. Thank you. Let me know in the comments what you want to see me review next, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, bye-bye.